Good evening and welcome to Lakeview High School. This is Jim Hughes with Gary Katz, bringing you high school basketball at the varsity level. It's the Harper Creek Beavers coming cross town to visit the Lakeview Spartans. And Gary Katz, quickly, we'll let you give us your take on what this contest is going to hold here tonight.
Couple of Twin Valley teams battling out, a couple intercity teams playing each other tonight, Jim. I'm looking for a great ball game. We'll get into their records and the starting five in just a moment.
Okay, Gary will get you those starters in just a minute. It's varsity action, as we said. Lakeview 3-5 has the ball after the tip. They're 2-3 in the Twin Valley. Harper 4-5, trying to hit 500 tonight. They're 2-3 also in the Valley. And as always, a heated matchup. Baseline drive. There's a pass stolen out of there. Nicely done. Greg Herron has it and brings it up. 68-64. Harper Creek was victorious in the JV game. Harper works against the man-to-man defense. We'll get you those starters in just a minute. Herron out front. He had 6 threes last game. Baseline drive, nice shot from 5, a high archer, lots of oxygen, and off of Harper Creek. Gary, why don't you give us those starters for each team?
Okay, for Harper Creek, Jim, starting night at 5'6", a guard, number 10, Jeff Hoig. At the other guard, 6 foot, number 4, Greg Herron. At center, 6'2", number 34, Aaron Ismail. At the forwards, number 22, 6'3", Sean Kinsey. At the other forward, Lance Hardenberg, number 33. He's 5'11". Real active ball player there, Jim. For Lakeview, at one guard, tonight starting in place of sick Mike Bogart is number 10, John Robertson. The other guard, 5'9", number 24, Kyle Sayers. At center, at 6'6", number 40, Greg McCotter. One forward, 6'3", number 30, Brian Rickey. The other forward, 6'4", number 44, John Huerta.
Nothing, 6:30 to go here in the first. Harper with it. There was a foul on the other end by John Huerta. Here's a pass across. Harper right side. Nice fake. Pull up off the window, no good. Rebound's coming down, batted around, and comes down to Greg McCotter from Lakeview, who is a strong player, has a lot of post moves. We'll look for that. There's a drive from 12. Pull up. No good. Tapped out of bounds by Lakeview, and it'll be Harper's ball. That is a big loss. You had mentioned starting tonight John Robertson. Not that he is a bad player. He averages 6 points a game, got a great outside shot. But Mike Borgert is a hot shooter, guys. 12 points a game, really the second leading scorer on this team to McCotter. And really one of the big threats offensively. Not feeling well tonight.
Good call by referee Greg McKetis. He's a good one, Jim. He likes to showball a little bit, but everybody seems to like that. Greg McKetis and Bill Newhouse are 2 referees for tonight's varsity contest.
Bringing it up nicely is Kyle Sayers. He lobs it inside, and there was miscommunication because McCotter thought that was going to be a shot. Here comes Jeff Hoyt. He's a real threat. Here's a shot from the outside, no good. Rebound comes long. Comes off to Harper Creek, and Hardenberg will put it back out front. Jeff Hoig has it. He's an excellent one. He's being hand-checked out front, no call. Hoig has it. He's a good outside shooter also. Herron's also good from outside, but in and out goes the ball, and McCotter with another board.
Tell you, Jim, we've almost played 3 minutes, and there's no score in this ball game.
There's a steal by Herron. Herron brings it up. Comes cross court with it, dribbles through traffic, and finally gets it out front to Hoig to set it up. Floor leader and a penetrator, that's Jeff Hoig. He shoots the 3 well, as does Hardenberg and Herron. All of them can throw it in from behind the arc. Here's another shot from 17, up and no good. Rebound, good box out by McCotter. Saved by Harper, and it's going to be tipped around, and finally McCotter is going to grab it.
Good play by Huerta there to tip it back to McCotter, Jim. The little subtleties you do in basketball. That was a great play.
Bringing the ball up for Lakeview. Comes Kyle Sayers. Into the corner it goes. Here's Robertson. Passes on over to Rickey. Rickey will pass it back out. Here's a 3-ball. It's up and no good. Off the glass, but a good rebound. Off the window and good by John Huerta.
First score of the ball game, Jim, with 4:22 to go in the first quarter. Shows you the adrenaline's flowing. Kids are playing hard. Just haven't been able to put the ball in the hole. Huerta with a good follow-up on Sayers' miss from the 3.
A scoreless almost half the quarter. Here's Hardenberg. He can put it up. That one came short. Here's a long pass ahead. McConnor on Hoig. He goes up strong for 2.
Good pass by Brian Rickey down to McConnor. Too much of a mismatch for Jeff Hoig. Giving up about 10 inches there. No contest.
Here's a long one, and there's a foul, and it's from Three-Land. Herron is going to get 3 free throws, and John Robertson, unfortunately, gets the foul call, and that is a big-time mistake right there.
Right,
you don't
Jim.
ever want to foul somebody out there at the 3-line.
Well, I think he's been reading the paper a little bit, knows Mr. Herron had a hot night, dinner night for Harper Creek against Otsego. Their last ball game, they beat Otsego Tuesday night 59-47. Mr. Herron had 6 3-pointers, so he knew he was a 3-point threat, tried to get out on him, sent him to the free throw line for 3.
And brother Steve doing real well in college, too. Another good shooter, good-looking ball player here from Harper Creek. First free throws up and down for Herron. First point on the board for Harper Creek. This Harper Creek team, if they can get Lakeview into foul trouble, that is a huge advantage because they shoot as a team over 70%. In fact, 71% is Greg Herron from the line. And I just jinxed him. He'll have one more.
We talked about the records, Jim. Harper Creek 4-5 overall, 2-3 in the Twin Valley. Lakeview 3-5, 2-3 in the Twin Valley. But we'll talk more about how these teams have came to those records. How Lakeview seems to be a little bit of a downer right now, losing 3 in a row. And Harper Creek won their last ball game. The previous 2 games, lost 2 games, but to very good opponents. So we'll talk about that as the game goes on.
Sayers with it. Last time we saw Sayers on Axis Vision, he was going out of a football game. Long one for 3. Robertson's on the board. He's known to have a good outside shot, and boy, he proved it right there. Kyle Sayers, last time we seen him, broke his nose in that football game, and really, that spelled the end of Lakeview's hopes against Central. Here's a long one. Up and no good. Rebound comes down to Harper. Ismerl fighting for the rebound. Here's Kinsey who puts it up and down. Sean Kinsey puts Harper back on the board again. 7-4. Lakeview by 3. 3:05 to go. Penetration. Here's McConnor. Baseline drive. Shot up short. Rebound to McConnor, and he's fouled.
Connor's very active on both ends, Jim, on the boards. They're following up his own miss, getting fouled on the putback, but down there in the defensive end before Harper Creek got that bucket. He made a good swat there, a good block on the shot as they came in there. That's just something that rests in the back of Harper Creek's minds as they drive the middle now, knowing McConnor's there, a good shot blocker. They've got to think about that. And you as a driving ball player, as a shooter, you're always looking around for that guy, even if he's not in sight, wondering where he's going to come from to block your shot. 8-4, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Lakeview, Jim.
Did you by chance catch who that foul call was on as you see the 2 free throws go down?
No, I didn't, Jim. I can look on the board and see he says.
So we don't have that foul, but we'll try to get it later.
I believe. 34.
We'll give it.
Dave Van
give him
Giesen
credit.
tells
Here's
me.
Hoig out front. In the corner, here's Herron from 3. Bounces up and no good, and Kinsey's going to get the foul this time. Sean Kinsey on another foul.
They're trying to get Herron off tonight, Jim. Set him up some good shots on the outside, some good screens. Just a little bit off the arc on the shot. Looks good in the rotation. It'll be a matter of time. Lakeview cannot continually give him open looks on that three-pointer because he'll come back to haunt him.
I'll tell you, I know Kinsey's a tough inside player. McConnor inside. Now they have a switch. Hardenberg on McConnor. He's got a man a lot shorter than him. Hirta with it. Lakeview probably wants to go inside as much as possible, especially with Borgert out of the game. Here's a drive and a shot up by Sayers. Rebound down to Lakeview, and there is Mr. Rickey. Brian Rickey gets a couple rebounds. Scrappy and
he's
tough.
he's going to be shocked. He was walking the free throw line, Jim. He had no idea referee Makitas is calling a travel on it. Excellent board work by Rickey, getting the first shot up off that first miss. Going up again, looked like he got hammered. I don't know.
I thought so too.
The charging
I was
or
about
the
ready to put a foul
traveling
in the book.
call was a little bit
There's a
questionable.
reach in on Sayers. Yeah, I thought that was a foul too, but to be honest with you,
He's questioning the referee that made that travel call on him right now.
Harper put him play down 9-4 with 2:12 to go in the first. A fast-moving first quarter. Hardenberg out front. Gets it down over to Herron. Not going down in the low post yet, really, is Harper Creek. Ismerl looks for help and finds it in Hardenberg. Kinsey to Herron. Herron shovels underneath baseline. Hoig brings it back out front. Ismail was open, but he didn't see the pass, and Hoyt luckily held on to it because he could have thrown that ball. Nice little drive, but a steal by McConnor. Here's a pass ahead. Nice bounce pass. Robertson picks it up, and he'll put it back outside. Sayers sets it up. 1:38 to go in the first. 9-4. Lakeview up 5. Lakeview, much expected from them this season, and so far have not met expectations, to be honest. Here's a long one from Sayers, no good off the back, and a good rebound by Ismail, and a steal by Ricky, who passes to McConnor for no good on the layup. He had the bunny. There's a foul right there. That has got to be the sign, the telltale sign of Lakeview season so far.
That's
total
an
frustration.
Excellent play, Jim, by Ricky on the stealer. Fed McConnor all alone for the layup there. He's got to use the backboard on that layup rather than the rim. Anytime you risk a floating shot there to the rim, you're risking hitting that heel and having it bounce off. A lot less chance using the backboard, and he didn't do that there. Cost Lakeview a bucket, caused him the foul. Could be a big momentum swing here for Harper Creek with minute 19 to go, 9-4 Lakeview. They could have went up 11-4 right there, Jim.
Well, what's really big, too, is Hirta just got his second foul. And, boy, if you're Harper Creek, you want to get those big men in trouble. Wayne Hinton sends a trap out to meet Harper Creek at half court. They go into a zone. Harper Creek trying to check out the defense, and it's aggressive zone. And it's a steal. Hirta has it. Hirta gives it to Robertson. Robertson has it in the corner. Good ball handling, but great defense by Hoyt. And back out to Sayers it goes. Sayers, nice crossover dribble back to Ricky from 3.
That's the Brian Wicke we saw last year, Jim. He's been struggling with his shot this year. We saw him tonight at dinner, the same place you and I were picking out as usual. And ask him about what's wrong with it this year. He's just not. I'm just not hitting Mr. Katz. And I said, don't worry, keep working on your shot. It'll come to you, man. And he looked like that first one right there. It's a good sign for Lakeview.
12-4. Here's a 3 ball up by Crum, and it's good. And there's a whistle. That's the net. Jeremy Crum in off the bench hits the 3 ball.
Brian Ricky being a 3-point shooter, Jim, he's too good a shooter to let shooting bother you. As a shooter, I've said this before, Jim, your motto is when you're on, shoot. When you're off, shoot till you're on. As a shooter, you got to keep shooting.
That's right.
You're hurting the team if you don't. He's got to keep putting the ball up, get Lakeview back out on the win trail here after losing 3 in a row we talked about. They played an outstanding game over at Marshall this year, Jim. Blew out a good Marshall team over there, and so that shows you the capabilities they have.
Ricky with 5 points now, 14-7. Lakeview, there's a steal. Here comes McConnor, and that's going to end the first quarter. And to be honest with you, nobody broke out on that play, and I think they could have had a shot. So at the end of one quarter of play, as you say, 14-7, and that was just a funny end right there to kind of a funny quarter. Lakeview up 7. So now if you're Harper Creek, the strategy looks like they're trying to shoot from the outside. What do you do if you're Harper Creek? I kind of think that with those 2 big men, Hirta already has 2 fouls. And, of course, Greg McConnor, who's the leading scorer and rebounder for Lakeview, you would think that Harper would want to try to go inside, get them in foul trouble a little bit, but they haven't done it so far.
Well, Harper Creek, or Lakeview, the last part of that first quarter there, Jim, really put a hard trapping double-team defense wherever the ball went. For Harper Creek, you got to get around that double-team trap by passing the ball, moving it quickly. You can get good layups, good shots off that. They just haven't been able to solve that yet on Lakeview's defensive part of it there. Until they do, they're going to have trouble. Lakeview's very spirited tonight, looking to turn this season around for themselves. Like I said, they beat Marshall pretty handily earlier, Jim, so that shows what kind of team they've got. And talking about Harper Creek, Jim, they won their last game over at Siegel, like we mentioned, but the 2 games previous to that, they played 2 very good opponents. Lost at Marshall last Friday in a very controversial basket we talked about in the JV game, 66-64, and just before that they played Pawpaw, who I believe is like 9-1, right up there in the KVA conference. And over at Pawpaw only lost 56-53, which Pawpaw's coach gave them a lot of credit. Said they were real scrappers, real hustlers, and good penetrators. So both these ball clubs have great potential.
Nice job out of the timeout. Did exactly what we talked about. Drove it right at McConnor, but McConnor was better that play. Made a nice block. Harper will keep it as it goes out of bounds. But I just really think they're going to take it to these big men, try to get them in foul trouble. That'll open up the 3 ball later if they drive to the basket or look for that post play. Outside, another steal. Here's the drive, left side in a hoop. And Mike Bogert not feeling well, but into the contest, and we thought he might try to play.
Yeah, we heard he was at school today, Jim. He wasn't feeling very good all day, but surprise team out there. That shows you how much Lakeview wants to win that game. Bad reach-in foul there for Sayers, but you can't fault the effort.
Well, I tell you what, he looked good on that shot, on the reverse layup on the left side.
Lakeview 24, Kyle Sayers, second on high.
16-7, folks. 7:25 to go here as we started the second quarter of action now. Glad you could join us. This one's being brought to you by Lakeview Optimist Club, Jim Hazel Sitco and Auto Parts Store, Guyver Chiropractic, Harper Creek Beaver Boosters, the Farley Estes and Dottle people out there at the funeral home, and of course Cats Well Drilling. Fine sponsors for high school basketball here tonight. Shot up hard off the board, rebound by Lakeview. Harper Creek not getting more than one shot down the court either. Sayers gets it on over. Brian Blanchard in the game. Down low they go to McConnor. It is tied up. Alternating possession will go to.
It's a good idea to go inside to Mikado there, but he sees that double team coming, Jim. The way to eliminate that, he's got a great outside shooter right next to him, Brian Rickey. Kick that ball out. Heron will not be able to double down on him. He'll have to stay with his man because Rickey's that threat at the three-point line. As soon as he realizes he's got that help, kick it out, get it right back, then he's only got to go against one man, not two.
So the score at the end of one quarter of play, of course, was 14-7. Borgert gets the first bucket here. We'll get you some leading scores here in just a second.
Watch for an inbounds play here to Rickey, Jim. Swing the ball in, bring it back right around him, the corner off of a screen for a three-point shot.
Out front it comes. Into the game now, Mike Lozier. He's a real hustler out there. Rickey with it now out top. 16-7 with 6:50 to go in the second. Lakeview up. They've really dominated this game so far. And Rickey's going to shoot it from three and hits.
You can't let him tee the ball up like that. That was a good play by McConnor to kick it right back out to him. The double team started to come. He kicked it back out. Rickey flat-footed three-pointer. You can't give a shooter like that a flat-footed shot. Same with Greg Heron for Harper Creek and some other players. You give those kids a flat-footed shot, they're going to make it more than half the time. And that's like making a two-point shot 75% of the time, so you can't do that. You're getting three for the price of two.
Sean Kinsey's got his second foul.
Coming out, 34, Israel.
19-7.
6:23 to go.
12. Man, I'll tell you, I didn't expect such an onslaught early. I thought this would be nip and tuck all the way. Lakeview's just played better. Nice pass inside. Boy, we saw that in the JVs. It's driving me nuts.
Right off the inbounds. I agree totally with you, Jim. You should go off a zone on the inbounds, and you're breaking your man-to-man once they get the ball inbounds, and you don't give up those easy buckets to the cutters.
Hoig with his first basket, 19-9, and that was a big one. Tip away by Kinsey. Kinsey with two fouls now, too. We want to keep an eye on that. At least unofficially. Leading scorers. Rickey had 5 in the first quarter. McConnor with 4, 2 for John Hierta, and 3 for John Robertson. Rickey now with another three-pointer with 8 points. Now Borgert drives, pulls up from 10. Short on the shot, but the rebound comes down to Brian Rickey. He is having the best game of anybody so far. Drive baseline, here's the runner, it's going in. And that's Mike Lozier. That was a great shot. 21-9
Good
by
floater
12 of
there.
the Spartans. Hoig to the hole and hits.
McConnor has to be aware. He's back there as a secondary insurance. If somebody gets by his teammate's man and right there drove around the Lakeview player, McConnor is back to play, couldn't help out on the defense there. He's got to be aware where the ball's coming from.
Another foul.
Mike Lozier, first on
So Lozier's down there.
number 10 for Lakeview is John Robertson.
21-11 by 10 points now. Spartans up, and I'll tell you, you got to wonder if you're a Harper Creek Beaver fan, what's hit them, because I don't think they expected to have Lakeview come out of the chute so strong.
Number 10, Jeff Hoig.
Jeff Hoig on the sheet here. We'll talk about all these Harper Creek players tonight. Coach Allen would supply us with some good things on each kid. Point guard, considered floor leader, does it all, penetrates well, shoots a three.
Hoig with 5 points now, all here in the second quarter. He leads the team. 3 for Jeremy Crum, 2 apiece for Sean Kinsey and Greg Heron. From the free throw line, a 63% shooter. From the three-point line, arc 34% shooter. Hoig misses that one. Rickey with another rebound. Rickey's played an outstanding game so far. been the player of the game for both teams so far.
He's got
21-12.
8 points, right, Jim?
8 points, and he's gotten a number of rebounds. Pass inside, McConnor has it, goes up strong, it's knocked away. Hoyt got that ball. The little man came in before the ball got up.
Nice play by Hoyt, Jim, dropping down from the top, helping out on McConnor as he beat his man, getting the block and the ball out of bounds. Great play by the little man.
Went to school with his dad.
That's
Dave
good
Hoyt.
help defense right there, Jim.
And Dave was a good ball player too, so this runs in the family. As does a lot of these players. You know, the parents stay in the district, and it's great to see families do that. Inside, back outside, Ricky for three again hits.
I think my little pregame talk with Mr. Ricky at the eating establishment might have got him started off a little bit. He looks pretty hot tonight. I don't think he's hit rim yet, Jim.
He's got 11 points now, 3 threes. Inside, nice move by Kinsey for 2.
Great move by Kinsey. Good play by Harper Creek to work the ball inside there.
24-14 by 10 are the Spartans though, and they are hot. Robertson brings it down. Kinsey, now let's check this and see how many fouls he's got. He's either got 2 or 3. This is going to be a big call here. That's the second. Lucky for Harper Creek, they needed that call to go their way.
Well, if I'm Lakeview right now, Jim, Mr. Ricky has the hot hand. I set him a double stack somewhere, free him open for another shot somewhere because he's on Fuego. And Fuego, let him keep going until he cools off.
Here's Borgert from long range, no good. But nobody got the rebound. Borgert gets it and puts it in.
Lakeview wants it more right now, Jim.
Yes, they do. When Harper Creek has the box out and the ball hits the floor and goes to the other team, something's wrong. Inside goes Hoyt, air ball, rebound pulled out by Ricky, who's doing everything. And here comes Robertson down the court, 26-14 by 12 of the Spartans, 4:20 to go in the second quarter. Good ball handling over to Ricky. Ricky drives this time, goes strong, it's blocked, but he's fouled.
Good piece of the ball by Heron there, but he got him with a body on the follow through. So good drive by Ricky the hole. Good deep, it's got him a little bit of a body. He'll shoot too, Jim. 26-14 Lakeview, 4:14 to go in the second quarter.
Let's see if Ricky's got the kinks worked out of his free throw shooting also, as his regular shot has fallen tonight. He only shoots 48% from the line. Nothing but net on the first. Boy, his shot looks great. Great rotation. Now let's just see what the second one does. 27-14 by 13
Let's
of
see
the
if he can
Spartans.
draw some iron yet. He's hit nothing but net. Well, he got a little bit iron, but still made the shot. Shooter's touch. What's he have now, Jim?
He has got a total of 13 points.
With 4:09 to go in the second quarter, 28-14, Lakeview.
Lakeview doubled up Harper now. In the corner goes Heron. Heron can't get off. There's a jumper, no good. And another rebound by Ricky, and I think one of the key stats not mentioned so far is that Harper Creek will not get more than one shot every time down the court, at least so far tonight. Nice drive, nice dish on the baseline, up from 2 feet, no good. Good rebound, and a putback up and down. And Brian Blanchard did a great job there. And we just talked about one team not getting 2 shots, and Lakeview got multiple opportunities. There's a foul call on the block.
They just want the ball right now at this point in the game, Jim, more than Harper Creek. How many buckets have we seen by Lakeview where the own player that misses a shot follows his shot and is putting it back in? That's poor boxing out by Harper this time. I'm sure Coach Ellenwood's really concerned. Going to have a long talk with him in a timeout, if not at halftime, with his team about boxing out, do a better job on the boards, or they're not going to be able to compete in this game. Lakeview looks like they're playing against Marshall tonight, Jim. They're clicking on all cylinders this time.
Hoy gets the first.
34, Blake Shaw will go in now and replace number 20, Brian Blanchard for Lakeview. Replacing 22, Morgan.
30-15. Lakeview on an onslaught, 15-point lead here in the second quarter. I don't think the Harper Creek fans expected this. Another free throw. 30-16 by 14 are the Spartans. Good idea to press here. Ricky with the ball. He beats the trap off the dribble, but I still think good move by Harper. Ricky pulls up from 5. There's a foul call. He knows he's got the high hand and he's taking control.
I think Ricky was eventually going to dump that off to Huerta. Looked like he was open on the low right box there, Jim, but he's just feeling it so good right now. He knew he was going to get fouled, so why not go for the three-point play? Get 2 free throws here, 30-16, 3:22 to go in the first.
He's on a roll. 12 points now in the game. 3 3-pointers, another bucket. Actually, 14 points now. 3 3-pointers, another bucket, and 3 out of 3 free throws. Give him 14 in the game so far. That one was, you could tell that he kind of short-armed that one.
He hollered short as soon as he let it go. Kind of came off the heel of his hand.
Shot up from 3 land, no good. Rebound down to Harper this time. No, Lakeview's gonna hustle and get it. Beautiful hustle. Harper doesn't get back, but Hoig does finally get back and make the steal. Great hustle by Jeff Hoig. There's a foul call off the window, no good. But Jeff Hoig is fouled.
Excuse me, Jim. All Blanchard had to do was get his body in front of Hoig and cut him off instead of running next to him like that. They're risking that foul. Makita got him, but Hoig showed his defensive back abilities from football as he went back on that pass. You could see that coming. He was just luring him into throwing that and getting a steal there. Good play by him.
So this was before the shot. I think they'll call this 1-and-1 on the bonus.
19 foul on Lakeview, Jim. So it's a 1-and-1. Next foul on Lakeview will be an automatic 2-shot opportunity, whether it's shooting or not. Harper Creek only has 5 fouls, so another foul to get before Lakeview's in the bonus.
Hoy gets another free throw. So far, 4 out of 4 from the line. 31-17 by 14 are the Spartans. But I tell you, free throws is one area where Harper could really come back quickly. Hoig in this quarter's got 9 points.
He'll replace number 20, Brian Blanchard.
So Blake Shaw into the game now. Saw him at the eating establishment too. Throw into the corner, Shaw has it. Here's Ricky, he's gonna pull up. No, he's gonna throw to Hirta. Here's Robertson out top. Looks for help. Baseline drive, pulls up from 5, up and no good. Rebound comes down to Harper. Good rebound that time by Hardenberg. And he was very spirited in that one.
Foul is on McConnor, number 40. First on, Greg.
He'll
So
get the
going
2
back to
shots
the
we talked about, Jim. Excuse me. He'll get the 10th foul here, so we'll get 2.
And Hardenberg, I think the best free throw shooter. Let me check it. 84% free thrower, Lance Hardenberg. And he hits the first. And this is the way. If I'm Harper Creek, I'm slashing to the hole every time trying to get fouled right now. Until they can get in sync. They just have not been in sync tonight. They've had no inside game, and their outside game isn't clicking. So to drive to the hole, and the second one's missed by Hardenberg, but the drive to the hole is smart. And I think this press is a good idea too. Dropping back into the man-to-man. Here's Ricky, who feels it big time. Drives baseline, looks for help. Finds it in low post, McConnor. McConnor on the offensive foul. I don't think McConnor liked that call. I don't think you like that call.
Oh, I don't know about that call. Of course, we're a long ways from that end of the court, though, Jim. Mr. Hardenberg, he's pretty pumped up now. He's got a couple of good calls on the defensive end down there for him on a couple rebounding in that, getting that charging call on McConnor. But he's a feisty ball player. You like that if you're.
Hoig lost it out of bounds, and he tried to make a spin move, and it didn't work for him. That was a big possession right there. 2:06 to go, 31-19, Lakeview by 12.
I know my son's played golf against Hardenberg in the past, high school golf, and he's a great golfer. I know he's an excellent, probably going to be the #1 tennis player in Battle Creek next year in high school. Maybe, challenge the state of Michigan. So he's a great athlete, 3 sports star out there, Harper, and he's a competitor.
Good trap by Harper. Here's Ricky, pulls up. Nice pass, McConnor with it back out front. 1:50 to go here in the second quarter, 31-19. By 12 are the Spartans. Shaw looks for help. Drives, puts it back under Borgert. Borgert has it, 3-point line on the wing. Pack out front. Shaw gets it across to Robertson, who looks in the post. No, he'll take the 3 and hit. Big hoop, 34-19. 15-point lead once again for Lakeview.
Well, he's hit a couple of big 3s, Jim, getting in the starting role tonight.
And that's going to be a turnover to Lakeview. Good job by the referees to work together on that one.
Yeah, that was a good call by referee Bill Newhouse there. He saw the deflection. Makitas did not see it. Was basically kind of looking for help. He came running in, made an adamant call. So that's, as a player, you like to see that, an adamant call, not something you're hesitant about. Then you know that the official may not have saw what was going on.
Robertson has really been, he's got 6 points on 2 3 balls, but I'll tell you, I've been impressed with Robertson out there tonight. He's been a real asset on the floor. Really helpful. And a threat from the outside. Here's a pull-up, a shot, no good. Good box out and rebound that time. Into the game is Jason Reed, and he did a good job on the boards. Around the lane it goes. Shot up, no good. Ricky on the rebound. Looked like Harper was going to have a good one there.
Robertson got a little piece of that shot, Jim. Good
Yeah.
defensive play by him. They got to free up Brian Ricky here, get him a screen or something to get him open for a three-point shot. He still has not had a chance to cool off. He just got to get the ball.
35 seconds to go here before
They swing
half.
it.
Lakeview tries to force it inside. Kierta and Hardenberg are really having some words. Referees are going to have to step into that.
First on Lance.
Hardenberg, a very emotional player. You can tell as you watch him out there.
Replacing Hardenberg.
Of course, Kierta, a much bigger player, also comes out of the game. 34-19, 27 seconds to go. Lakeview with it. Blake Shaw on the wing now over to Borgert. McConnor has it. Borgert wants to take the long one, though he puts it back to McConnor. Here's Ricky. He has got the hot hand here. Here's Borgert from 12. Turnaround on the baseline, no good. 14 seconds to go. Harper on the breakout. Left side off the window, no good. Rebound down to Harper Creek. 6 seconds to go. They need to put it up. Seth Whalen has it. He drives, and he's fouled with 1.8 seconds to go.
We remember Seth Whalen from football at Harper Creek, just a water bug, Jim, very fast. They took it the whole hard there and got a good foul there for Harper Creek with just 1.8 seconds to go, down 34-19, 15 points. So this is kind of key here. If he can get a couple of free throws, get that 13 sounds a whole lot less than 15, that's for sure. Give
Whalen
Harper
hits
Creek
the
a little
first.
momentum.
Whalen hits the first free. He's a good free throw shooter too at 73%. Yeah, actually Lakeview had a real chance to take the last shot and put this over a 15-point lead.
Right, that
And
could
they
be a
did do it.
very
They
key
tried to
play.
hurry that shot a little bit, I thought.
I agree, Jim, totally.
I don't know, it just sounds a 13-point lead and a 17-point lead is huge difference. In my mind. I think psychologically that makes Harper Creek feel better. Rebound down. And an errant pass. And that's the end of the first half of action. With the score, the Lakeview Spartans 34 and Harper Creek 20. This is Jim Hughes for Gary Katz and Pat Gold saying, stay right there. We got a great second half of action in just a few minutes. We'll see you then. Welcome back. 34-20. Lakeview up by 14 at half. Jim Hughes, Gary Gatz, and Pat Gall. Bringing you high school sports at its best here at Lakeview Gymnasium. Harper with it to start. Jeff Hoyt gets over to Heron trying to get him off. A three ball, it's up and down. That is how you wanted to draw it up if you're Harper Creek, Gary.
They did a nice screen. He came across from the weak side. Got a double screen coming across, wide open shot. Good play by Coach Ellenwood to free up Heron for a three-pointer, hoping to get him off starting the second half here.
Out front, Ricky is a hot man. He's really the story tonight, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Almost a steal. Borgert starts second half and hits. 6 points for a guy that wasn't feeling well, wasn't supposed to play tonight. 36-23 by 13 are Lakeview. Brian Ricky, really the story of the contest for both teams. 14 points, 9 rebounds. Here's a three ball by Lance Hardenberg. And Harper Creek starting to fire it up. Down to 10 points, the lead now. This is the signature of this Beaver team, the long ball. And a steal. Here comes Hoyt. He's got help. He goes right side off the window and good. And it's an 8-point game. Wayne Hinton shell-shocked a little bit on that Lakeview bench. Matt Nellenwood really trying to fire his team up. And I'll tell you, being down less than 10 points right now early in the third is huge for Harper Creek. Inside it goes, McConnor free for 2.
There he goes using the glass. You're going to make the same mistake twice and not using the glass and missing a layup. Good play by Lakeview. 2 points for McConnor. They needed that, Jim. 10-point lead, 38-28. But like you said, obviously Coach Ellerwood had a good talking to his squad. They're going into the halftime. And then came out the second half, fired up. Another 3, Jim.
And Wade Hinton got up and said, I don't like what I'm seeing. 20-second timeout, and I think a great timeout. It's down to 7. And I think he has seen this Lakeview high school team spark go into the locker room and stay there. And they just do not look like the same team. They don't have that energy. What do you think?
Well, the shots that Harper Creek missed early in the game, Jim, starting out cold. In fact, both teams there took a long while to score. The shots they missed earlier now are starting to come. That means inside will open up for Harper Creek. Obviously, Lakeview called the timeout to get out on the 3-point shooters. That should open up the inside for Harper. But if Lakeview continues to let these guys get open looks for Harper Creek, they're starting to nail them. Could be a very close ball game here by the time the night's over, Jim. 38-31 Lakeview, 6:10 to go here in the third quarter.
So Lakeview brings it up now after the 20-second timeout, 38-31, as you just said. Lakeview up 7, but Harper Creek on a real run. They were down 14 at halftime, and they've got that lead in half already. And that's just in 2 minutes. Good hustle by Harper. They steal it. And here comes Hoig. They can cut it down further, 38-31. Hoig with it. He's open. He doesn't take it. Good hands by Ricky. Boy, it looked like he was going to take that 3-ball again.
They're shooting Heron through that man-to-man or zone defense, whatever Lakeview is playing out there. They're shooting him across there, trying to get in that open 3-pointer again there, Jim. Set some screens for him, which is a good play on Harper Creek's part.
Hardenberg out top with it. It is a man-to-man defense right now for Lakeview. Heron with it out top. Back to Hardenberg. A little bit more energy from Lakeview right now in the man-to-man defense. And here's Hoig. He'll take the 3-ball and miss this time. And the rebound by Robertson, who I think quietly has really had a nice game tonight for Lakeview. Or not so quietly. He does have 6 points. Just been a real steady influence on the court, I think, for Lakeview. Would you agree on Robertson?
I agree totally, Jim. He's played excellent ball game tonight, being inserted in the starting role.
Back out to Robertson. He just is very poised and calm when he's out there. Sayers has it on the wing. Looks for help in the low post. Ricky's trying to set up low. Here's McConnor. Drives in. Hirta misses it. Another steal. Here comes Harper on the breakout. Kinsey with it. Behind the back. Gives it to Hoig. Here's Heron. He's open. He doesn't take it. Hoig out top. Sets up. Hardenberg trying to go back door. Didn't get it. Here's Heron with it. Back into his zone defense now is Lakeview. They've dropped back into the 2-3. Good call by Coach Wayne Hinton. It's actually a box on one, it looks like, as they're following Heron everywhere. Shot up, no good. Robertson gets the rebound. Looked like Robertson was on Heron man-to-man, and the rest of the people falling into his own good defensive scheme. Here's Robertson again from 3-land, no good. Hoig up high for the rebound. Pass ahead to Kinsey. Looks for help.
You realize that a shot like that, Jim, a 3-pointer, he's about a half an inch short from swishing that shot. Barely caught the front of the rim, but scooted across. So dead on, just happened to miss his shot.
Hardenberg from 3, a high archer in and out. Rebound's going to come down to Lakeview. Robertson again, pass across to Sayers. Sayers right side on the wing, behind the back, through the legs, trying to find help, finds it in McConnor on the baseline. McConnor drives. There's some body contact, and it's a blocking foul. 38-31. McConnor will go to the line, shooting 2.
We haven't talked a lot about Coach Hinton of Lakeview tonight, Jim, though. In talking to him before the game, getting the starting lineup for Lakeview, I sensed a real sense of urgency from him that they've lost 3 games in a row. He wants this victory tonight really bad for his team, and I'm sure his team does too, to get back on the winning ways. He's real concerned with how they're playing right now, wants to get them back going, and the way they played that first half was excellent. They're down to a 7-point lead here now with Mr. McConnor shooting 2 free throws, but he wants to try to maintain this lead, get their intensity back. Seems like Harper Creek's came out with a Lakeview intensity they had the first half and kind of putting it right back on them. So Lakeview's got to get that focus back for Coach Hinton and the Spartans.
McConnor on the second free throw. Hits it. 8-point game. I'll tell you, we come back to that last half minute in the first half. Remember when Lakeview was up 15 points, I had mentioned a 17-point lead. Taking the last shot, the possibility of that was much bigger than a 13-point lead, and boy, did we see that already here quick.
Exactly, Jim.
Heron, bounce pass, Hardenberg baseline, tries to get it up. Good hands by Lakeview, but they knock it out of bounds.
Good hands by Brian Rickey on Hardenberg as he drove the baseline. Rickey knocked the ball off his hands, almost got it off Harper Creek, but Lakeview touched it before it went out. Harper Creek on the inbounds play. 38-9-31, Jim. 3:33 to go here in the third quarter of this exciting Twin Valley game. Both teams 2-3 in the Twin Valley, looking for trying to make the record 500 in the Twin Valley.
Heron finds Hoig underneath. There's a block. He goes up strong again. No good. Good rebound for Harper Creek off the bench. Jeremy Crum went strong to the boards, and he got fouled.
I think that's going to be on the floor, though, Jim. Another out-of-bounds play. Good hustle by Harper Creek there.
Lakeview in the man-to-man. Let's see if they do the cutter down the lane. They don't. And there in the corner is the shot for Hoig. No good. Whalen's going to go over the back on that and get a foul call. I don't know why they don't use that play where they broke down the lane. That seems to work every time for Harper Creek.
Looked like Coach Hinton changed his defense there a little bit. Jim wasn't going to allow that cutter come down the lane for the easy hoops we saw in the JV game and the start of this varsity game for Harper Creek.
Sayers brings it up. Sets up on the left side. In the low post goes McCotter. He's fronted. Rickey drives baseline. He's going hard. Shot from two, no good. Rebound comes out to Harper, who's doing much better job on the boards. Good hustle that time for Blanchard, but it is knocked off Lakeview, and it'll be Harper's ball. But I think Harper Creek is doing a much better job on the boards. They are limiting Lakeview to one shot, Gary.
I agree, Jim. Much better job with the first half Lakeview players. We talked about it, how if they missed their shot, the own player would follow his own shot, get the follow-up, put back, and foul or the score. So Harper Creek, much better job after Coach Ellenwood talking about that half about rebounding and boxing out, not allowing Lakeview, like you say, getting that second shot.
On the wing it goes. Here's Heron from three-land. It's up and down. 39-34. This is the closest Harper's been in a long time. 5 points down, and it's happened in a hurry. And it's because there's been 4 out of 5 buckets from three-land here in the second half for Harper. They got 4 3-pointers here in the third quarter. There's a steal. Here comes Seth Whalen, who brings it up. Very quick team on the floor for Harper right now, a good shooting team. Here's Heron again from 3. It's up, no good. Rebound. Harper underneath. Let's see who the foul calls on. I think it might be on Kinsey. No, it's on Hoig. And Hoig was saying to the referee, how could you call it on me? He had inside position. You know what? I agree with him. Kinsey did come over the back of the Lakeview player who was behind Hoig, but nonetheless, the call goes against Hoig. That's his first foul. I guess if you're going to get a foul, you'd rather have it on Hoig than Kinsey. That would have been Kinsey's third. Matt Ellenwood not happy with the call. Putting the press on now is Harper in a man-to-man variety.
Pretty upset there with something, Jim. Both coaches came to the storage table. Looks like Mr. Hinton, whatever he had to say was the correct view for the referee, because he looks happier than Coach Ellenwood does right now.
Well, they certainly called it on Jeff Hoig, but I honestly thought it was on Kinsey. And I think, actually, that's a break for Harper Creek. If they're going to call a foul, that's where you want it. Sayers, ball handling, goes across center court. Here's Sayers on the drive, right side, no good. And a lot of contact. There's a throw ahead. Here's Harper, breakout right side, up and down. Nice job by Jeremy Crum, and it is a 3-point game, folks. We said it was going to be an exciting second half, and we proved it with a 39-36 score. There's the lob. McCotter with it, gathers himself and scores. McCotter with 9 points now.
Good pass by Robertson there, Jim.
41-36 by 5. What a comeback by Harper Creek here in the third. Here's another 3-ball up and no good. That one looked good, though. Heron on a big rebound. And Hoig wanted that 3 chance, but Heron said, I'm bringing it out myself. And he gives it to Kinsey in an awkward position, actually. Kinsey, though, drives, gives it back to Heron. Back on across to Whalen. Whalen drives. Double pump off the window. No good. Rickey with the rebound. Rickey had 9 rebounds at half. I believe that's his 10th. 41-36.
Lakeview got to get Rickey involved in this offense, Jim, the outside shot.
And there's McCotter. It's stolen away. Here comes Harper again. Hoig, right side, goes up strong. He's fouled, and it's in and out. Boy, that would have been a touch foul for a 3-point play if that had went down. All the momentum is blue right now, Gary.
Yeah, this looks like the first half is switched is all, the second half. Momentum first half with the purple and white for Lakeview. Second half, blue and white for Harper Creek. 41-36 Lakeview, 51 seconds to go here in the third.
Do you think Lakeview got a little overconfident there in the first half?
No, I just think Harper Creek got a talking to at halftime. They've been playing pretty good ball lately, and that was not the way they've been playing that first half, the way they've done the last few ball games we talked about. Lakeview dictating the tempo the first half. Harper Creek's dictating it this half, Jim, with a 3-ball and just their transition, their defense. Getting a lot of steals when Lakeview puts the ball on the floor. They're picking their pockets and heading down court using their speed.
Here's a shot up, no good. Short arm that one too. McCotter comes off the court. He was wincing down here, and he's off the court going to the locker room. Must be some sort of injury or something, and that's a huge blow to the Spartans.
Like he was holding his hand, Jim. The trainer went in with him, so we'll have to keep a status going on that, see how it goes. Good hustle by Whale on inbound pass, almost taking it from Sayers there.
Boy, I'll tell you, these two coaches are into this game. We want to thank the coaches, Matt Ellenwood and, of course, Wayne Hinton, for all the information they provided. A couple of great guys. I'll tell you, they're both very spirited out there right now. Ricky brings it up himself, dribbles across the timeline, and sets up. Beats the trap by himself, drives baseline, cross court, hung up there a long time, but pulling out of the sky is Robertson. His Borgert back into the corner to Ricky. Ricky drives. There's a lot of contact, no foul, but Ricky gets a rebound and scores. 16 points now. Boy, I'll tell you, there's a lot of no calls out there that are suspect.
A lot of people think they have to travel on a play like that, Jim, but anytime you're attempting a shot, it does not have to draw iron. He was attempting a shot. Looked like you said, a lot of contact. He got his own rebound off that air ball and put in. Great play by him there, but kind of a funky-looking play there, the way the refs let that go.
I like what Harper's doing, though. They're slashing to the hole, creating some space on the outside, too, for open threes. But when they slash to the hole, they're getting fouled. They're making sure they make contact. And Hoig's going back to the line. Makes his first.
Tell you, 43-38, 5-point game here with Hoig yet to shoot another free throw with 18.4 seconds to go. They can get within 4 here, Jim.
And Hoig right now 8 for 10 from the line, Gary. Actually leads all scorers now with 17 points, 16 for Ricky, 17 for Hoig, and it's all coming the second and third quarters. Driving to the hole is Sayers, puts it up and down. Nice
big
shot.
Big bucket by Sayers there. And like you say, Hoig, 8 for 10 to the free throw line, Jim. He's only a 58% shooter from there this year, so that's real key for Harper Creek. Big bucket there on a drive by Sayers there.
That was a huge hoop, as you say. 45-39 at the end of 3. 6-point lead by Lakeview. And Gary, tell me, what caused Harper Creek to come out on such fire and get back into this ball game, cutting the lead from 14 to 6?
Well, the 3-ball got them back in this game, Jim. They hit those 3 threes right off the get-go. Nothing but net on all of them there, so it caused Lakeview to call a timeout, change their defenses, and that momentum from those threes carried right on. They got some steals, some fast break buckets. Like you mentioned, Hoig making a lot of free throws. Got them right back in this ball game, 45-39 going into the fourth after trailing by 14 at the half. That's really key. They're only down 6, and that's just a couple of buckets the way they're shooting threes away. So I'm sure Coach Hinton down there, he's pretty adamant with that clipboard, showing some things right now to his players, trying to get them fired back up. And Coach Ellenwood trying to tell the Harper Creek team just to keep doing what we've been doing. We're right in good shape in this ball game, no matter what the score is, being down 6. So I look for an exciting fourth quarter here, Jim. Like we mentioned, they're both 2-3 in the Twin Valley. Harper Creek 4-5 overall. Lakeview 3-5 overall. One team's going to be to 500 tonight in the Twin Valley. That's a real key going into the last part of that first half of the season in Twin Valley. So they're both going to be fighting hard to get that 500th win.
Well, everybody sees the 3 balls going in, and of course that's what lights up the scoreboard. I think a real key was Harper Creek's rebounding in the third quarter, and we might get some stats on that from Dave Van Giesen. I don't have stats, but they were certainly holding Lakeview to one shot, it seemed, every time down the court. It was real evident to me that they did a much better job on the boards in that third quarter. Nice little shovel pass and a steal, and they also did that better. They were stealing the ball a lot, and they got another one. Hoig comes down to start the fourth. 45-39 by 6 are the Spartans, but Harper with it. Nice little pass. Here's a 12-footer up and no good. Off the back, and a nice rebound by Robertson, who I think has just done a tremendous job tonight on the floor for Lakeview.
What do you think about that, Jim? I thought he could have took the ball right down the lane there. He had that little 8-footer there, but it looked like the lane was wide open to take the ball to the basket there.
Lakeview a little out of sync on offense right now. There's Ricky. They got him back outside. They were posting him up in the third, and he never got a shot outside. And another body goes down. There's a long one. And Robertson has 9 points, all from three-point land, and he has been huge.
That was a huge bucket for Lakeview, 48-39. Under 7 minutes to go here in the third, Jim. Just a big bucket. Whalen trying to answer.
And it's off the rim, and Ricky with another rebound. There's a long pass. Nice pass by Robertson, and it's off the window and good.
Great rebound. Baseball pass by Ricky. Great pass by Robertson.
I'll tell you, if Brian Ricky's the MVP, I would say Robertson's my unsung hero, and it's back up to 11 just like that.
Good timeout by Coach Ellenwood there. Down by 11, just like we said, that fast, Jim. You know, only down 4 or 5, now it's 11 now, and just that quick. And Lakeview reverting back the way they played the first half now to start this fourth quarter, Jim, with a lot of energy, a lot of fire. Got this lead back up to 11. I want to say something, though, too, Jim. I hope this is correct. We mentioned Justin Tyndall when they played football out there at Harper Creek, that we knew his dad, Terry, and his grandfather, Chuck, and gave them all the accolades. It's a great family that Justin's came from, but Chuck Tyndall had to call me and tell me, he says, you got to mention who Kyle Sayers' grandfather is. Carl Kutzinger, I've known for quite a while. Used to play basketball, a little bit of golf. He's a great athlete, and Kyle is just a replica of his grandfather, the Kutzinger family there. He's a great athlete, great hustler. As you see there, he drove and set up that three-pointer from the corner. So he's a real spark plug for Lakeview. We mentioned we saw him in football get his nose broken. Didn't even want to come out of the game this year. He's a tough competitor.
Sayers out front with it right now. Here's Robertson. He's been hot, and he hits another. Boy, I'll tell you, he might be even more than Brian Ricky, who is it's expected of. Robertson might be the MVP on this team. 4 threes, 12 points now in the game.
Oh, that's the travel.
Kinsey,
wow.
I think Wayne Hinton wanted that travel.
Well, that was
Here's a long one by Hoig, and it's short. Nice rebound for Harper, but it's knocked away by Lakeview and out of bounds.
Jim, how many threes does Lakeview have in this game tonight?
Let me count them up here. It's going to take me a minute. Well, there's 4 by Robertson.
That wasn't one of them right there. That was one of those, like you say, take a breath of fresh air, a lot of oxygen.
Nah, one way. There's 7 threes by Lakeview, 3 by Ricky and 4 by Robertson. That's the only people that have had them. So 7 threes. Harper misses again. Nice rebound, though, for Harper. Up on the rebound, no good. The putback comes down to Ricky. He saves it. Nice job on a double save.
Nice
and
play
Robertson.
by Ricky, then Sayers to save the ball into Robertson.
Great job. Boy, I'd stay on
senior
Robertson.
leadership right there, Jim.
I'd stay on him right now, number 10 against number 10, but Robertson for Lakeview has been a good number 10. There's Sayers from 3, no good. Good rebound down to Harper. Into the game is Jason Reed. He pulls it out of the sky. Hoig to Kinsey. 53-39. This game has changed quickly. And a nice job on the drive. Number 32, Jeremy Crum gets a hoop. That's the first hoop here after about 3 minutes in the fourth for Harper.
I agree, Jim. Harper Creek's been in quite a dry spell. They needed that.
Here's Ricky from 3. He's still hot.
There's Mr. Ricky's first chance at a 3 there for a while. I don't believe he's missed from the 3 spot, Jim. The only shots he's missed are some driving jump shots, but you got a lot of nice arc on that shot. Nice snap. All set up again by Sayers. He's doing the optimal point guard role right there, Jim. Driving, penetrating, kicking to the shooters, the open shooters. And when you give anybody like a Ricky, a Hoig, a Heron, some of these guys out there, Robertson, the flat-footed three-pointer, most of the time it's going down. You can't do that. Good point guard finds his shooters and gets them good shots.
Hopefully that's what I used to do. I tried to anyway, right, Gary? Off the window for 2 more. Ricky now with 21.
Good pass by Robertson there. Again, set up Ricky, good drive, bank off the window.
Totally agree with your assessment on the point guard situation. There's a shot up and down and a foul, and Heron will go to the line. But I'll tell you, Harper has hit another Lakeview streak that has put him up 15, and you got to figure the wind is really taken out of the Harper Creek sails right
Lakeview
now.
was just up 17 until that Heron bucket there, Jim. So it's 58-43. They've got a real hill to climb here with 4:17 to go in the fourth.
One thing about it, and we've already seen it, Harper can get back in the game as quick as any team around. They can also get out of the game as quick as any team around.
Exactly, Jim. But the one key here, I think, to Lakeview, Harper Creek being down 15 points here after that miss, still 15, is going to, I think it's going to hurt Harper Creek. They're going to have to press a lot here, up-tempo this game to try to get this 15-point deficit down here with 4:11 to go. But I think Lakeview's got a real key out there in Kyle Sayers, the way his quickness, his ball handling ability. He's going to find open people. It's going to be awfully tough for Harper Creek with Sayers out there in the game.
I bet you Robertson's going to come out of the game right now, I think, because, boy, did he just take an awkward hit on that knee. I'm just glad to see him up. Man, that was really a tough fall there, and he landed on his hand awkwardly, too. And that's why Wayne Hinton took him out right away, just to check on him with the trainer. 58-43, as you said, 4 minutes here in the fourth to go. And really, Lakeview has reasserted its dominance here in the fourth quarter. They've scored 13 points, and another three ball up, no good by Borgert. But they have reasserted their dominance by getting 13 points already here halfway through the fourth. They only had 11 in the whole third. Here's another three for Heron.
That's his third, I believe, right, Jim?
That's his third.
I tell you, Harper Creek's doing a smart thing. As soon as Lakeview puts up a shot, Jim, they're releasing Davis on the fast break. And if they're able to get the ball down court, they've got some fast break layups. Lakeview better watch out and get somebody back if somebody drives or takes a shot. If Sayers is driving, dishes somebody's got to rotate back to top to cut off that full court pass.
Kinsey, you know, I like him. He's a good player there from Harper. He really has put some moves in defensively anyway on the players there from Lakeview, and he took that charge right there. But he's a hustler. I like him because he really gets out there and hustles. Here's Heron. Drives this time. 12-footer. It's blocked by McCotter. Hardenberg has it. Looks for help, and it's stolen. Boy, I'll tell you, McCotter's close. Don't get a technical foul right now when you're up 12.
I think the thing he's most disappointed in right there, Jim McCotter, it looked like, you know, he's pretty aggressive on his steal. Looks like he had a lot of ball there, but the referee, Makitas, 12 feet from the play. The referee from the other side, Newhouse, 60 feet away, makes the call. And that's the thing, as a player, you know, Jim, you get frustrated. You get a referee a few feet from you, and somebody from a long ways away makes a call. I can't say it's because he had a better eye view, because that wasn't the case.
Well, I tell you one thing, McCotter, very emotional player, but boy, if you're going to be a team man, you got to cool it right now. A technical foul will be absolutely devastating at this point in the game for Lakeview.
I agree.
And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, up 12 points, I think I'd get him right out of the game. I would not take a chance to have a player inside that has that emotion going where it might be derogatory to hurt my team when you're up 12 in a big crosstown rival. And they don't need baskets right now. They need to play defense. They need to rebound. They don't have to score. A 12-point lead's good enough. If they play good defense, Lakeview's already going home with a win here. So I'll tell you, I wonder.
That's a big risk, Jim. Like you say, if you get a technical foul, they're shooting 2 free throws, they're getting the ball out of bounds. All kinds of bad things can happen there. So luckily, ref kind of let it go, kind of warned him. So, but 58-46, 3:15 to go. Jim, you're Coach Ellen. We're down 12. What are you going to start doing here on defense and things to make the tempo up, you know, go up so you can get back in this ball game being down with 12? What do you think he's designed for his team to do?
Well, I think you overplay. No matter who you're guarding, if somebody has the ball, you overplay them to one side, make them put it on the floor and try to go for steals all you can. And as far as getting it on offense, when you get the ball, get down and take the first good three-pointer you can get. Right now, they actually don't need threes, but the first good shot, they need to shoot it. They can't waste much time on offense. By the way, Wayne Hinton must have heard or agreed with what we were thinking because Hirta's come back in to help out down low. Actually, I thought he was coming in, but he's still at the bench. They're going to put him in for McCotter, I think, as soon as possible. And there he is. So Wayne Hinton was thinking the same thing. Let's get Hirta back in here now, settle things down with a big man, and not have a situation where we get hurt by emotion in a bad way. McCotter, a great ball player, really had a frustrating night, frankly. He's got 9 points, but it's been a quiet night, and he's the leading scorer on this Lakeview team. Good defense by Lakeview to keep Harper Creek out of sync. Harper's not getting the quick shot. There's already 2:47 now left in the ballgame. They've wasted a lot of time before they even got a shot off.
I think Harper Creek is looking for the three. They just got to go a little back door. You don't have to get the three-pointers right now with 2:38 to go. Somebody go back door, get a layup, possible three-point play off a foul on a layup or a couple of free throws, get the clock stopped.
I agree with you too, but I'll tell you, they got to get a good open shot, and boy, that was almost thrown out of bounds.
Because Lakeview is really overplaying that three ball right now, Jim.
Nice shot by Hoig, but they took a lot of time off the clock. Hoig with 19 points now. 58-48 by 10. Lakeview can run their offense, and Ricky has it, and he's fouled. Not in the bonus. That's one of the reasons I would say I'd go for every steal reaching in right now, because Harper Creek has to have Lakeview in the bonus for them to get the ball back, and so they need to reach in and try for steals, and if they get a foul, so what? If they get the steal, that's great. But boy, I'd be going after everything that hits the floor. Make them put it on the floor and then go after it. Of course, I love to do that when I was playing.
Yeah, double team the ball. I agree, Jim. Double team the ball. Harper Creek only has 4 fouls right now. Lakeview 6. So Harper still has 2 more fouls to give before you get into the 1-on-1. So, like you say, get in there, scrap, claw, double team the ball, try to get a steal, and so what? If you get the foul, you get the bonus situation, and you force Lakeview to make the free throws.
You got to get out on them right now, though. The minute they put it on the floor, though, you have got to be all over them. Sayers with it out front. That was a good chance right there as he goes in and missed the layup. And there's a foul, and that's the one thing Lakeview does not want to do. That is the worst thing Lakeview could do. Not miss the shot, no. Foul Harper Creek and stop the clock and give them an opportunity to go to the line now in the bonus and make shots while the clock stopped.
Yeah, that puts Harper Creek in the bonus. Lakeview's 7th foul there, so they'll be shooting 1-on-1 now till the 10th foul. So, like you say, Jim, the clock's not running. 58-48, down 10 with 1:50 to go. Hoig shooting a 1-and-1 with a chance to bring his team within 8.
And that's big.
He makes the first, Jim. He'll get another.
So Hoig at the line. McCotter now back in. Good move by Wayne Hinton. I've been impressed. He had his team ready to play ball tonight. It's obvious. I think they're looking at Kinsey here to see if he's got blood on his shorts maybe. I don't know what else it would be. Yeah, and that is what it is. They got blood on his shorts, and I think they're going to have to take him out. That is the rule. Boy, that hurts because he really is a help on the boards. And they're going to have him come back behind the bench. And we're not going to show this on Access Vision, folks. But he's going to change them shorts real quick. So Hardenberg has to come in. This is a small team for Harper Creek on the floor right now. 58-49. But actually, in a sense, for a press situation, might be good.
That's probably the best team for them to have on the floor, Jim. You want 5 speed demons. Looks like they've got some all-quick players.
And if I'm going after that ball, if I'm Seth Whalen, don't wait, man. Go after the steal. You got to have 2 more fouls, like you say. 1 more doesn't get it. 2 more will get him in the bonus. And there's only 1:30 to go. Nice pass. Robertson hits for 2 more.
Great
Robertson with 8 points in the 4th.
By
14 in the game.
Jim.
What a great job he's done.
Great job of working the ball right there. McCotter spotting him other side there. That's the play that's available for you when a team's pressing, trying to get back in the game.
There's a good foul and a good attempt. And Lakeview's going to get the ball back out of bounds. That's the point. 1:17 to go. It's a 10-point game, folks. Harper's playing man-to-man in a press situation, but not an aggressive man-to-man where you're going for steals. They were just playing position defense, and they need to trap right now. And go, reach in, it's okay. They're not doing it. Ricky drives. They don't need it, but Robertson gets 2 more.
Great play by Ricky. Good cut to the bucket by Robertson. They're doing a good job of breaking that Harper Creek press down, getting the easy layups. I think the fat lady can start singing, Jim. It's 62-50 with 54 to go in the game. 12-point lead for Lakeview.
And actually, Jeff Hoig just drew a foul. Actually, Sayers might want to let him go. Let the clock run. I mean, if all else fails and he makes the basket, you can stand out there for a good 3-4 seconds and let more time run off the clock anyway. Now the clock stops. It's 62-50. I believe that last Robertson bucket sealed it, to be honest with you. Now the clock stopped, and you never know. Hoig hits his first. I played at Harper Creek, Gary, and it makes me want to be down there going after the ball in a ball hawk situation. I told you the story about how I used to be the one-man press, didn't I?
That's right. Me, I'm the three-point shooter.
I think that's the only reason I ever made the
three-pointers.
team. I'd just run after the ball. Boy, that's what I'd be doing. I'd send somebody after it. Get your fastest player out there and foul. You got to foul. You're down 10 points, Harper. And they do. But they fouled properly. They fouled on the reach, and they need to go for the steal. That is good. 62-52, 43 seconds to go. Lakeview been in control 3 out of the 4 quarters of this game.
It's been a good ball game, though, Jim. We saw a great JV game. This has been a good ball game, very intense. Cross-city rivalry, bragging rights, Twin Valley. We knew we'd have a good one.
Here's Borgert going to the line. Let's see what his free throw shooting percentage is. 63% on the year. So who's out there? Robertson, who shoots 59%. 48% for Ricky. He's in there. Blanchard comes in. He's at 58%. Not that great of free throw shooters. Borgert at 63%. And Sayers shoots 73%. So they got some ball handlers out there, but really no one outstanding, although Sayers at 73% is pretty good. Nonetheless, Borgert puts it down. Maybe that's the story of the game. Borgert now with 9 points. Wasn't supposed to play, folks. And Robertson started, and Robertson has been awesome. Robertson has 16 points tonight, averaging just 6 points a game. Borgert comes back out.
Borgard, nice job tonight, not feeling well. Jim, just coming out of the game with 40 seconds ago, did a nice job coming off the bench, a normal starter. You know, showing Lakeview's want to get this game tonight.
And I think this one's over. McCotter comes back in, Borgert back in. Right now, Wayne Hinton substituting offense and defense. Smart. I think Wayne Hinton's coached a great game, especially to get his team back to momentum after the third quarter. Harper on the pull-up from 3, no good. Rebound comes down to Hoig, and he puts it home. Quick timeout. 64-54, but only 23.9 seconds to go. Hoig, 25 points tonight. Scoreless in the first quarter.
He's had a lot of free throws, Jim, a lot of penetrations, done a nice job sprinkling, I believe, a 3 or 2 out there. I think we can basically say 64-54, 24 seconds ago. Lakeview's going to get this ball game, Jim. They're going to take their record to 4-5, 3-3 in the Twin Valley. So a big win for Coach Wayne Hinton and his team. Harper Creek will go after this ball game to 4-6, 2-4 in the Twin Valley.
So back after the timeout, Lakeview will put it in. And finally getting it in. Back to Ricky, back on over to Borgert. Nice ball movement, McCotter has it. Good job. And no foul call until now. 16.5 seconds to go. Good ball movement by Lakeview. You know, execution's been the key. They started out in the game freeing up Ricky. Ricky just been awesome, 21 points tonight.
I think we saw in this game, Jim, the way Lakeview can play in spurts. I mean, I don't mean in spurts, but in the spurts they had, that's the way they played against Marshall. And we also saw some down times where they let Harper Creek get back in the game, kind of went, you know, dead in the water for a while out there, not executing, throwing the ball away, not taking good shots. We saw why they've lost 3 games in a row. But you see the potentials there for them, and this win could propel them to a very good rest of the season.
Hoig misses the 3. Whalen puts up the rebound. McCotter has it, and he's fouled with 6.8 seconds to go. It's a 10-point game, folks.
And then the opposite in there, Jim, we saw Harper Creek's tenacity coming out very impressive in the third quarter, making a very good game of it. And coming back, getting within just a few points they did, the 4 or 5 points, and you know, threatening Lakeview's chance of winning this game tonight. So we see why they're such a pesky team and why some of these people like Pawpaw and some of the teams they played have said that they're a very hard-nosed team that refuses to give up.
So McCotter goes to the line, trying to break into double figures. He's got 9 so far. He hits the first. He's got 10 now. It's good. That's a good catch by Harper Creek's coaches, and they should call the tech. Are they going to call the technical here? Let's see what they do. That's what they're doing. They're calling the technical foul, although I didn't see the signal. And Ellenwood, I'll tell you, he's done a great job right here. He's trying to take that free throw away because they had 6 men on the court in violation of the 1-and-1. And it should be, I believe. Don't you agree?
I don't know what the rule is, Jim. I saw something like this on TV in a college game the other night or something. They had too many men on the floor.
That's weird. I'll
and
tell
they
you what.
let it count there. Made
Somebody
the person
fell
exit
asleep.
the floor, so yeah.
I think Ellenwood right now is trying to take that point away, and that's a great idea because they could make a couple free throws, hit another 3-ball, and they'd be down 5, although still almost an impossible situation. McConnor missed the second.
Free throw for Harper Creek. 2 free throws.
Hardenberg to shoot. We said he was an 84% free throw shooter.
I agree, I guess, Jim, with the idea that count the Lakeview free throw because the extra man on the floor had nothing to do with him making. If it's a made bucket off of a play when you've got action going on the floor, a free throw is a stationary shot, so count it. But there's a correct call, making the technical call, giving them 2 free throws, the ball out. So I think they handled it excellently.
I'm not sure about the other call. I mean, a lane violation has nothing to do with the player making the shot either, and they take the free throw away. I just don't know. Anyway, 65-50, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I don't know. 65-55. I think the referees, though, obviously handled it correctly, or we'd have a couple hot coaches. We got nobody hot. Other than that, I think Wayne Hinton's disappointed that somebody fell asleep and stood out on the court. That's amazing. I have never seen that call in basketball.
I seen Robertson slipping over the bench trying
I
to
did
hide
too.
there. We talked about. Then I saw Ricky going over there with his kind of hands over his head. Maybe he was the culprit. Should have came off the floor. We don't know for sure, but it was kind of just a funny situation here with 6.8 to go, with Lakeview up 65-55.
Well, I've been impressed tonight by Lakeview. Lakeview came out hot as a firecracker, if you want to use a bad pun or adjective or phrase. But I'll tell you what, that comeback by Harper Creek in the third quarter had to do something. Either they could have folded their tents or they could have woke up, and they woke up. And they came back just as on fire as they were at the beginning of the game. It was funny, almost, in the way they could come back and turn it back on, but they did, and I was very impressed. And I think the most impressive play, Ricky, we've seen him do these types of things, but Robertson was awesome tonight. Thought he was a huge player for Lakeview tonight in every way. Hoig for 3 hits, and that's going to be it. The final score tonight, Lakeview 65, Harper Creek 58. And Gary, give us your thoughts on each team as I total up the scoreboard.
Okay, Jim, like I said earlier, I just believe both of these ball clubs played their hearts out tonight. There was another game of spurts. Lakeview starting out hot, Harper coming back. Lakeview spurting out to a big lead at the half, Harper Creek coming back. Then a nip and tuck game down the end. Lakeview spurred out there again at the end to win this ball game, 65-58, 7-point victory. Like we said, to even their record at 3-3 in the Twin Valley, 4-5 overall for Lakeview. Again, Harper Creek goes to 4-6 overall, 2-4 in the Twin Valley. So great ball game, great intensity by both teams going at it hard. You had a clean ball game, nothing dirty out here tonight, Jim. You got 2 crosstown rivals going at it, 2 Twin Valley foes, and a good hard ball game. A lot of kids diving for loose balls on the floor. You got a lot of sportsmanship and some funny plays too, like that play with Lakeview with 6 people on the court, but those things happen in high school basketball, and thought the referees handle it well. Jim, final scores.
Well, let me give you some totals. First off, for the visiting Beavers, who really hung in tough tonight, hit a buzzsaw at the beginning and came back, made a game of it. That 7-point deficit, though, really is not indicative of the dominance that Lakeview really had tonight. But Harper hustled, and I'll tell you, they were led by Jeff Hoyt, who was scoreless in the first quarter and ended up with 28 points. He had 2 3 balls and a ton of free throws. Actually, he went 12 out of 14 from the free throw line, so just a tremendous game for Jeff Hoyt with 28 points. In double figures also, Greg Herron with 3 3-pointers. He had 13. With 7 points, Jeremy Crum off the bench did a good job. 5 points for Lance Hardenberg, 4 for Sean Kinsey, and 1 for Seth Whalen. Total of 58 points. 65 for Lakeview. They were led tonight by Brian Rickey, who was just awesome, especially in the first half. He had 21. 16 for John Robertson. He had 4 3-pointers tonight, and I thought was very steady, and even when he didn't shoot the ball, he just was poised and calm, and I think I would give him my player of the game. I think Brian Rickey did a great job, but the reason Lakeview won this game tonight was the support he got from John Robertson. Obviously a team game, though. Mike Borgert, who wasn't supposed to play, got 10 points. Also with 10, Greg McCotter. 2 points apiece for Mike Lozier, Brian Blanchard, and John Hirta. That rounds out the scoring for the Lakeview Spartans. Also, Kyle Sayers did chip in with another bucket. So 65-58, your final comments.
Well, I agree with all you said there, Jim. And the players stood out tonight for me for Lakeview. Just did an outstanding job all night. They had a triple of players there: John Robertson, Kyle Sayers, and Brian Rickey. You've got 3 seniors that led by example tonight, and they did a great job getting Lakeview off the losing snide, losing 3 in a row, get them back on the victory trail. And for Harper Creek, you had Greg Herron had a nice ball game. Jeff Hoyt, like you said, had probably his high point of his career tonight at 28 points. And Lance Hardenberg playing with a good, hard-nosed play the whole game. So those 3 players really stood out in my mind, but both teams all, give a solid effort. All the kids out there, whoever they bring into the game, off the bench, whatever, just give a solid game. It's always fun to do games with crosstown rivals here, whether it's Battle Creek Central, Lakeview, Harper Creek, Lakeview, Penfield, Harper Creek, whatever. We've got one more game left, Harper Creek and Jackson, I believe Northwest, something out of Harper Creek in a couple weeks, so Jim, and so that'll be fun. But it was good to be back in the booth after doing the girls' games this year, Jim, and good to be back with you tonight, and Pat. Felt good.
Missed you at St. Phil. We told everybody you'd be back, and I kept my word by having you show up here tonight and really add to the broadcast. So thanks, Gary. Want to thank the fine sponsors: Lakeview Optimist Club, Jim Hazel, Sitco and Auto Parts Store, Guymer Chiropractic, Harper Creek Beaver Boosters, Farley Estes and Dowdle, and Cat's Well Drilling. Those fine sponsors help bring high school sports to all you fine folks out in TV land, and we want to thank them, and please honor them by their support by doing business with those folks. We appreciate their support all year long. So with a final score, Lakeview 65, Harper Creek 58. This has been Jim Hughes for Gary Katz and director and cameraman extraordinaire Pat Galt saying, watch all your high school sports here on Axis Vision. Good night, everybody.